Happy New Year, everybody! From a beautiful sunny field and one dog getting herself very, very, very wet and muddy. Mags is on the lead because I can't on this field have them both off together. So as I finish my dog walk, I will join you back at the house very shortly with a cup of tea in my hands, ready to talk about what I'm going to do in 2025. There's a dog over there somewhere. I'll have to go and find it.
Hello again, and a very happy new year to you. And thank you so much to all of you who have watched, liked, viewed, commented, or newly subscribed following my last vlog. It's absolutely fantastic of you. I really, really appreciate it. And I'm just going to tell you, I'm not wearing anything me made. I am milking wearing my Christmas jumper, and I know that, there you go, look, can you see it's got little robins on it. It's New Year's Day, hence the Happy New Year's, Happy New Year's. It's got robins on it, and I've had it for a long time, and I don't get to wear it very often, and it's a lovely, lovely, warm, cosy jumper to wear, so I thought I'm going to wear it today. So I will be taking down the wonderful Christmas bunting after I have filmed this vlog for another year. I'm very naughty. I've actually already started to take a few decorations down. My mum used to do that. She used to take them down bit by bit by bit. And then they would all be gone by 12th night. And it was never onerous. And I've done the same thing. So then, let's look back at 2024. Oh, wow. A lovely year for sewing. Fantastic year for sewing. And I've already done 2 review videos. So I'm going to put the card up for the first one here. And if it will let me put 2 up, hopefully the next one will come up here. If not, it will be below. And in fact, I will put them both in the description box as well below. So I reviewed the first 6 months of my makes. I don't know why I did that. I think I thought at the time it would be a great idea, and then I got into September and I just thought, I don't know what happened when I got back to school. The autumn term always seems to be extra busy and you're trying to sort of do more. I can't even remember what I did in September now, other than I will have had a nice time. That I'm absolutely certain of. But I know that after I'd been to Oregon to see Lorianne, the amount of sewing I was doing definitely slipped back. So let's have a little look at what I did make after my last review. So I have the book here. Can you see it? It's just here. So let's have a little look. Let's go back in the book and see where we are going back to. Now, I honestly do not have pictures of me wearing all these things, but I'm going to hold them up. So back to the beginning of July. So this is where I'm picking up from. So the beginning of July, I made a Montevilla dress by Sew House 7 using the stunning Nerida Hanson fabric that we got from Beyond the Pink Door in a box. Now I also made an Ogden cami as well. Both of these dresses were worn in Hawaii, and I've got a little picture of me wearing the Montevilla dress there. I also then made the Underwood tank dress in this beautiful, I think it's Art Gallery jersey, and I bought that when I went to Boys with Sarah, who is Super Bales Sews. And then I made a t-shirt, and it will have been the Naya t-shirt. So I made 2 t-shirts with this. I made the Naya t-shirt, and I made the Skyline tee by Sew House 7. And these fabrics came in a Pink Door box. Again, I will go and take a little picture and put them in there for you. They're on coat hangers. They're upstairs in the wardrobe. But trust me, I have made them and worn them. So I made 2 pairs of Pietra shorts by Closet Core, and I made another Ogden cami, and I made the Ogden cami in this beautiful linen from Atelier Brunette. And I have a picture of myself here in Hawaii wearing it when we met. Lorianne and I met up with a couple of ladies that we kept running into on the boat. And we were all stood outside the coffee shop, and I then became terribly British and said, right ladies, you sit down there, I'll go and get the drinks. And we had the most delightful, probably half an hour, just sat round a table, drinking coffee, which we could have done on the boat, but we didn't. It was in the Hawaiian sunshine, opposite a quilting shop. Perfect. perfect. All my summer clothes are now packed away. Now, I then made 2 fleur dresses. One using another Beyond the Pink Door fabric here, the lovely, the one we got that was sailboat themed. And I got the beautiful, as you can see, the beautiful cappuccino coffee colour, I would call that. And I absolutely loved it. And here is a picture of myself wearing the dress, and it's when Lorianne and I went and boarded the ship on day 1. But also, when I was there, some of you may remember the reel that I put up on Instagram. You know, the one where you shake the fabric and then drop it and you've got the dress on. I went into Josephine's Dry Goods in Portland and saw this stunning viscose fabric, and I made this fleur dress. Now, I'm going to stop there and say that was my favourite make of 2024. I adore that dress, and I think it was because I'd saw the fabric, bought the fabric, and literally within 24 hours had made the fabric up into the dress. Lorianne was like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. And Lorianne's husband, who is a very reserved gentleman, just said, it's fantastic, you look wonderful in it. And it just blew Lorianne and I both away, and I just love, love, love wearing that dress. My pattern of 2024 is definitely the fleur. I know that I made my beautiful Seasons of East dress. Was it the Autumn in New York dress? I'll put another picture of me wearing it in just there. That is lovely. That dress is stunning. I've worn it so much. But it was the sheer seeing, buying, making and getting the reaction from this particular fabric that turned that dress into a hot favourite for myself. There's a Solvay dress. Please excuse the red line. It's because I was highlighting it for something, and I know what I was highlighting it for. I was highlighting it for a competition, one of those, you know, everybody enters and they draw a name out the hat, for a competition in Portland that was being run by some Portland sewists. And it was on while I was there, so I sort of highlighted myself wearing the dress and entered it, so please excuse the red line. The lady with me is Peggy from Soho 7, also wearing a Solvay dress. And then I made another Underwood tank dress in the lovely, very 70s, in my opinion, 70s inspired green-based jersey that was done by Brogan, who is the Crafty Pie. Both beautiful dresses, and the Underwood tank dress, on a hot day and you just want to wear something that's like secret pyjamas but you can breathe, make yourself an Underwood tank. Do you know, next summer I might try making it in a woven rather than a jersey, because I think it would still go over my head. I might make a scrap one first. I'm thinking ahead here. Not that I'm going anywhere hot next year, unless it's hot when I get to Portland. So those were my really top makes. The other one, of course, that I made was the Berlin jacket using my Mizoni fabric, which I entered in the Precious Fabric Makes with Tomcat Stitchery, and for which I won a prize. In case you hadn't heard, I won a prize. I think I must have told you a million times, but I think I was more shocked that I won a prize than actually getting around to entering it. I do the videos for these things and then forget to enter them, and I'll think, oh yes, I'll do this challenge. I think it was a question that I'd shocked myself entering it, and then triply shocked myself by actually winning a prize. And then the last makes for this year were this beautiful fabric that I bought last year from Little Legs Fabric. I bought that last year, and I made the lounge top by Brindle and Twig for Oliver. The fabric was bought for Oliver, not for George. It was bought for Oliver, and I made it up, and Oliver wore that the day we went to Eureka. I also made both the boys a pair of Brindle and Twig, is it Sarange pants, just using a red jersey. And I then made several versions of the lounge top by Brindle and Twig in this lovely fabric here. I made one for George, one for Oliver, and one for my niece Amelia, my great niece Amelia. And her mum wasn't expecting it, and when it arrived it was a huge shock. Please don't forget that I also made the stockings I made 5 stockings. I made 4 big ones for Amelia, for Oliver, for George, and for Oliver's other cousin, Layla. She is the daughter of Rachel's brother and his wife. And I also made a tiny stocking for Amelia as well. I do not have photographs. When I make things for other people, I tend to be a little bit more reserved on the photographs. And the other one I made for somebody was I made a bestie bag for the lady I work with using a piece of curtaining fabric from Dunhelm by Orla Keeley. And I don't have a picture of that because that was made as a gift for somebody. It is, I do mention it in my vlogs. There was a vlog earlier by Christmas during Vlogmas when I'm making it. If I can find the link for it, I'll pop it in. But yes, it was a gift. So because it's a gift, when it's finished, I like to keep it as a gift. And my final make of the year for myself was a South Bank sweater dress in this stunning fabric that was sent to me from Agatha in Agatha's cottage, and I made a South Bank sweater dress which I wore on Christmas Day. And here's a picture of me. I'm actually kneeling down to try and get myself in the frame, and the South Bank sweater dress is just the most comfy, easy wear jumper that I've ever had. It's just beautiful. I love wearing it. And of course, I made myself a bestie bag, didn't I? In this lovely William Morris print that I bought a long time ago from Bugweeds in York. Now then, 2025. What has arrived for 2025? Well, I thought I might start by talking to you a little bit about me and what I like doing best. And the truth of the matter is, I like all types of sewing, with the exception of one, which I will come to in a minute. Embroidery. And embroidery takes in so very, very much, and I'll come to that in a minute. I like my dressmaking, I like my bag making, but I do not like, please note, I'm saying it now, do not like curtain making. I don't like making curtains. I have made curtains, but I don't like making them. I just don't like making them. And I've just said embroidery. Now, many years ago, I studied embroidery at school, and I studied it in depth. As I have previously mentioned, I did study City and Guilds. Now, with City and Guilds, when I did it back in the early 90s, gosh, that seems a long time ago now, doesn't it? It seems such a long time ago. Anyway, back in the early 90s, you did something called City and Guilds Preparation of Working Designs, and you would use that element of your City and Guilds to move into your specialised area. Now, the specialised area I chose was fashion. But there were other areas that you could go into. And embroidery in itself breaks down. So when I studied embroidery at A-level, embroidery encompasses things like your fine stitch work, your gold work, your cross stitch, your hardanger, your satin stitch, your general tiny embellishment work. It also covers applique, and that's onset and inset applique, inset and cut away. So with applique, we talk about applying one layer of fabric to another, hemming the edges, but you can also do reverse applique where you put a piece of fabric underneath, you draw your design, and then you actually turn on the inside, and then you catch down applique. But also within that is patchwork and quilting. Now, whole cloth quilting, where you take one piece of fabric and you embellish the design on it. And at this point, I feel as if I should go and get you a piece of whole cloth quilting. Whole cloth quilting. So whole cloth quilting is where you stitch the design into the fabric. Is what creates the quilt. It is the securing of the 3 layers. The top layer, the wadding layer, and the bottom layer are held together. Whether you do that with a machine or by hand, but when you've got one piece of fabric with a design on it, it is known as whole cloth quilting. And this is just a sampler of Durham whole cloth quilting. It's a square that I did many years ago following a visit to Beamish Museum. And there was a lovely lady called Dorothy Osler don't know if she's still alive or not. Anyhow, she did the course in York that I went to, and I absolutely loved it. It took me a long time to do that. That comes under the umbrella of embroidery, as does, believe it or not, patchwork. Because again, you're using stitching to bring your pieces together. And of course, if you think of crazy patchwork, where you're laying one over the top of the other and holding it together with either a zigzag stitch or a herringbone stitch, lots and lots of different angles on the embroidery front, which of course now can be done by machine or by hand. Right, where am I going with all of this waffle? Having justified myself for the love of a needle. Well, I have thoroughly enjoyed doing my ring, my Christmas embroidery ring, and Instagram. Isn't Instagram a nightmare for us all? How many of you have seen these? 365 days of stitches, and you know what's coming next, folks, don't you? Oh yes, I am going to do it. My brother, bless him, sent me some money for Christmas, and I used some of it to purchase this book. And I used the money from my coffees that I was kindly given at Christmas to buy the goodies that I need to make it. So let me show you what I have put my coffee money towards. I had some Christmas money from my mother-in-law as well, mother and father-in-law. So I have got my ring, 12-inch ring, and then I thought it would be really nice to show you how I was going to do and manage all the little embroidery stitches. So I bought a little ring as well, 2 rings. I have got the flosses, or the cottons. I used to call them embroidery silks. They're not silks, they are just cotton thread, stranded embroidery thread. I've got needles and I have got the fabric. So when I have finished recording this, and editing it, the next job is transferring the design from the back of the book. They give you 3 options for doing the embroidery. You could have just the wheel like this. You could have a daisy one, or you could have this one here. Now, this isn't the one for me at the moment, but I like it. I looked at the daisy one and I thought, I'm losing all this space around here. So I am simply going to go for the one that is on the front of the book, which is this one here. And I'm not going to put any coloured lines on to start with, but this will fit completely inside my hoop, like so. But remember, at Christmas I need to bind my hoop. So as soon as I have ironed the fabric and I'm ready to go, I'm going to bind it with some bias binding, and the one I will use will probably be this Christmas binding, and I will probably use that for it because I just need to use a lot of binding. So that is one of the things that I want to get on with, and I have to choose a motif for today. So the book comes with lots and lots and lots of different motifs. So you've got travel options. It goes into the funniest details. Let me just see. There was one that really it tickled me when I saw it. These are just classed as symbols. Would you actually put the bin? Would you put the bin? I suppose if I put my bins out, then I would have to put the bin on, wouldn't I? In a magnifying glass. Padlocks. I use a padlock on the oil tank. Timer when I'm cooking. I was thinking which motif to do for today, and you will have to check back with me at the weekend to see which one it is, because I've got something else that I then bought because I thought it'd be quite good. Not that I've just set myself 365, because it's not a leap year, so it's actually 365 stitches. If it had been this year, I'd have had to have done 366. But I then decided to set myself another challenge, because I went and bought the Quilter magazine, and then I found this book. It's called A Year of Quilting. Now, I have quilted a lot in my time. I've done whole cloth, I've done patchwork, I've done applique. But I thought this could be a very interesting quilt to do if I did the designs, to try and do a block a week. Now it's going to be tricky. So whether I do a block a week and do it over a year, or whether I do a block every 2 weeks and do it over 2 years, I'm going to stand on the shelf. I'm not going to say I'm going to finish this. This is the one I want to commit to doing, because I have enjoyed doing that little tiny bit of embroidery every day. And this will be as quick as the others because I'm actually already prepared. This, I think, could be really, really interesting to plough through and to literally do it, as it says, one at a time, week by week. And I'm going to write in the book where it says week 1, because it's, hold on, go to week 1, blocks. So where it says week 1, I'm going to write above it the day I finish it. So I've not done foundation paper piecing before, so that is going to be a technique I will learn in week 2. It wasn't something that was done a lot when I was quilting many years ago. And for somebody who loves sewing, why not? Why not have a go at doing something? But let's get back to the dressmaking and the other things, because before I go back to work, I would love to make 2 new tops. So from Andrea at Beyond the Pink Door, I bought the Rissac jumper, and I bought navy blue ribbing and navy blue lovely jersey to make it up in. And then I bought some lovely rib knit from First for Fabrics and a lovely marl grey furry back French, I don't know what they call this, but it's the one that's got the furry back. It says it's a fluffy back French terry jersey type stuff. I'm not even, type stuff is all I'm going to say. If I've got it wrong, I'm really sorry. Sorry, Tamlin, if you're watching. I've got it wrong, but I'm going to use that lovely grey. And I like that furry, fluffy back stuff because it is so warm for work and I have to go outside. I'm going to make a drew. Because lots of people are saying what a fantastic top it is. And I don't buy a lot of Tilly and the Button. I'm sorry, I'm using my finger again. I don't buy a lot of Tilly and the Button patterns, but I do like her jersey tops. I've made the Billy and I've made the Pearl, both of which I adored. So I'd like to get those done, preferably by the weekend, because next week I'm only going to show it to you like that. That means I've got a pattern test. That's all I'm going to say. I have a secret sewing project to do and I'm looking forward to getting going on that one. So, with my sewing room covered in stuff and me having waffled on for probably far too long, that is what I've been sewing in 24, and that is what I've got planned for the beginning of 25. Oh, in 25 is, I want to make the bestie bag, but I want to make the bigger size because I think it could be a nice bag to take to work, because I could get my lunch and my car keys in it, and it's an easy bag. Sometimes the bags I've got are really hard on my shoulder, and I thought, oh, if I had the bigger bestie bag, I've got plenty of fabric upstairs so I can make it, and if it works, it works. There you go. That's to give you an idea of where my mindset is going for 2025. I do want to finish the gilet, but before I do, I need to make these 2 jumpers because I need them for school. We're going into the colder weather and I need, well, it's 3 jumpers actually, because I need to make a Judi turtleneck, a drew and a Rissac, and I have got tops that I can wear underneath the Rissac and the drew because I need to keep myself nice and cosy warm when we're in school, because it's going to go into the colder weather and I do go inside and outside an awful lot. So there you go. I do hope you have had the most fantastic New Year's celebration wherever you are in the world. I want to thank you for watching and thank you for staying with me, and I look forward to sharing my sewing with you as we move forward into 2025. So for now, thank you for watching. If you've not subscribed, click the little thingy down, give me a thumbs up, send me a comment, and I will see you all again very, very soon. All being well at the weekend.